This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Eagles sniffing around for Jonathan Taylor and also Isaiah Rodgers. Is he competition for Avonte Maddox? But let's get straight into it.
EAGLESEO.
All right, so let's get into it. So I wanted to give y'all one, not really early in the morning, but in the morning before the cuts are made. So Eagles are quote unquote sniffing around for Jonathan Taylor. I would say I believe this is somewhat true. Um, because I know Howie Roseman. I know Howie Roseman. He's always looking to get the best deal. He even said it on the Jason Kelsey podcast. That's one of the things he said. He's always, looking around, seeing what he could get for a guy, and anything that can make this team better, he will do, even to the backup quarterback. At the time, we got Gardner Minshew. He was a solid backup quarterback. We thought Marcus Mariota would be a solid backup, but he wasn't. And Howie Roseman still made the deal to go get him because he thought he was the most qualified backup for Jalen Hurts. So again, anything that can make this team better, he will do, to receivers, to tight ends, to quarterbacks, to running backs. And I just don't think Howie Roseman will overpay. I think Howie Roseman is trying to see what other teams are offering, see if he can match it. If it's too much, he might be backing out. But again, sniffing around sounds like some Howie Roseman thing. And again, like he said on the Jason Kelsey podcast, he's always looking to make this team better. He never want to go and regret a trade he could have done. Like, man, they only gave up that to get that guy. So again, not surprised by this at all. Do I think Jonathan Taylor will become an Eagle? Possibly not. I think we're really satisfied with the running back room, and trading for a running back twice probably make us look bad because we got Swift. Like, we traded for Swift, then trade for Jonathan Taylor. Like, how would that work? And will we trade Gainwell, Boston Scott, or even Trey Sermon, or hell, even Derek Barnett? If we trade Derek Barnett and no running backs, that make it a lot difficult with the running back room. But again, I doubt this is going to happen. But it's definitely fun to talk about for sure. Um, but I'm just doing my due diligence just in case it does happen. But I highly doubt it. I think the Eagles are set, in my opinion. But if you got a chance to get a top three running back, do it, but don't overpay for it because we okay. Now, say if we didn't do the Swift or Penny thing, then you might have to overpay a little bit. But now we got Swift and Penny, like the running back room is deep, especially with our O line, because to me, the O line makes the running back. So again, I believe we're cool with the running back position, but I'm not surprised Howie Roseman still just sniffing around, see if we could steal a guy and do some type of business. All right, so I want to get into Isaiah Rodgers, right? And I was thinking about this last night about Isaiah Rodgers, and Twitter got my gears going, right? And like, Isaiah Rodgers is interesting that the Eagles signed him now, even though he's not going to be able to play and he's a next year play. I'm like, well, if you got a guy who is ranked fifth by PFF, I think he only averaged about 5 yards per catch. I seen a couple, game tape on him a little bit. He did really good against like Devontae Adams. He's more of an outside boundary type cornerback. Really, really solid. But I was looking like, you don't bring him in just to be a kick returner. And that's no offense to kick returners. Trust me, they are very important. But you don't bring a guy with that skill set that young just to kick return. So I start looking at the contracts of like our cornerbacks, like all of them. The only guy that stuck out was Avonte Maddox because Avonte Maddox going into next year, his cap hit is about $10 million, but he's a nickel cornerback and Isaiah Rodgers is an outside cornerback. What I could see happening is that we're probably not going to take that cap hit from Avonte Maddox. And this year might be Avonte Maddox last year as an Eagle. It might be his last year as an Eagle, and he might be gone, and we just have another guy come in that's just as established as Avonte Maddox and young, who can take over that spot. And if he play big, maybe the Eagles give him a contract. But yeah, this might be Avonte Maddox' last shot because again, I don't see the Eagles taking a $10 million cap hit for Avonte Maddox. And that's no offense to Avonte Maddox, but injury, ankle, foot, always missing games, always snaked up. We got to be real about Avonte Maddox. We have to be real. Solid. He's solid. And he went from being the outside corner to a nickel corner because I remember saying Avonte Maddox is talented, but the Eagles got to find a way to put him in the slot. They got to find a way to put him in the slot and have two solid outside corners, which they eventually did. First, it started with the guy that got sent to Houston, Steven Nelson. Then we end up getting Bradbury and moving Avonte Maddox in the slot, which really worked out. And I think they're going to do the same thing with Isaiah Rodgers. Also, before I go deep on this, I'm really happy the Eagles are treating the cornerbacks now like how we treat our defensive line, right? Our defensive line, we get a lot of established guys to start, and then we get a lot of backups that can possibly start for a lot of other teams. I see the Eagles are treating the cornerbacks the same way, and that is smart because you're in the passing league. You go get a Keely Ringo, you go get Isaiah Rodgers, you got Josh Jobe, you got Mario Goodrich, Slay, Bradbury. Like you are good. Eli Ricks, like you're good. You gotta treat your cornerbacks just as important as your defensive line in this passing league. And I see why we lack on the linebackers. We get some solid ones, but this is not a running league anymore. You got to be smart with your cornerbacks and defensive line. Because remember, when Slay first came here, and Slay was just what had anybody playing outside beside him, and then it would just be Slay. And what used to happen is that teams would never throw Slay way, they'd throw the other way. But I think Eagles learned from that mistake. Like, you know what? Whoever gets hurt, we're good. Because even if like a Bradbury or a Slay get hurt, I believe in Josh Jobe. Hell, if we bring in Eli Ricks, I believe in him too. But them other guys, just like 3 years ago, wasn't it. But again, I am very happy that we're taking the quarterback position very, very serious. But again, to answer the question, is Isaiah Rodgers competition for Avonte Maddox? I don't think so. But is he a replacement for Avonte Maddox? I think so. I think there's something there. I think he's a replacement. Eagles are not taking the $10 million cap hit for Avonte Maddox. And yeah, that's just my personal opinion on it. And Eagles are thinking ahead. I like that. I like that we thinking ahead instead of, oh, Avonte Maddox, we're not taking that hit. We don't got nobody to cover this spot. Then you got Zach McPherson on IR. Not sure how he's going to play after coming back from what, a torn Achilles. May never be the same. And Eagles are thinking. They are thinking ahead, and I really, really like that. And especially in a guy like Isaiah Rodgers, who is really, really good. But he's going to bring a lot to this team. Hell, even if I'm wrong about the cornerback position, you got a perfect kick and punt returner. I can be totally wrong. Avonte Maddox can restructure, but man, you don't have a guy like Isaiah Rodgers just on the bench though, and just kick returner. But let's say if that's the case, Avonte Maddox want to stay in Philly. He beats out Isaiah Rodgers for whatever reason. You still got a perfect kick returner, punt returner. So either way, it's going to work out. And again, sound like I'm repeating myself. Is he competition for Avonte Maddox? No. No. But can he possibly be a replacement? Yes. Definitely yes. But hey man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today or about my wild theories today? Again, later today, I'm gonna come out with a video of the 53 man roster. and let's see who get cut or not. Maybe as I shoot this video, players are getting cut. And I probably got to shoot another one immediately. But this is Eagle Al, man.